What's going on, everyone? We are back today with some more Bounce and Boosted, and in today's video, I'm gonna be working on the old Jeep. So, a lot of what I have done to this Jeep has not been filmed. Obviously, that's my fault. I kind of suck at that. But, I do want to show you guys what I did anyways. So, as you can see, if any of you remember the Jeep from before, it used to sit on different wheels. So, it's got brand new wheels and tires on it. I fixed 4 spots in the frame. Can't really see it, but there's a big patch right here. There's a big patch right here, and then a couple on the other side as well. I did some half-ass body work here just to kind of cover up the rust holes that were there. I know it looks terrible. I wasn't going for perfection. I just wanted, you know, a good 20-footer or whatever. And same deal on this side. Not too bad, not too bad. Got to get some fenders for it yet. Hood is cut. I made a fuse box cover, which I thought was pretty cool. And I moved the gas tank to the back. Back seat's out. No more sway bars. Here's another one of the patches I did. And then I did one up here as well. So yeah, I should have done another patch in the rear. There is another hole in the frame. Just disregarding it, out of sight, out of mind, and you can't see it, so gone, whatever. Anyways, for today's project, because I know that everyone's waiting on that, these are running boards actually off of a truck, and they look kind of similar to sliders here, and they're made totally out of tube, obviously. They're not in very great shape, but they were free, and this thing is the goal behind this Jeep. The goal behind this Jeep is to make everything as cheap as possible, because like I said a lot of times before, I have $300 into buying this Jeep and putting it in my name. So the least amount of money we can spend, the best, or the better, I guess. But yeah, so obviously these running boards here are far too long for the Jeep. So I measured from about where the front of the fender is to the back part of where the wheel well is on the tub, and we're looking at roughly 4 feet. These are 75 inches long, so I'm gonna have to cut a section out of the middle, weld them back together, and then figure out how I'm gonna weld them onto the Jeep itself. So with that being said, stay tuned, and let's see how we get it done. I don't have my sawhorses right now. They are over at my mom's house because they're building a house, so I let them borrow them. So I am using a chair. Anyways, I obviously have to cut down the rock sliders that I'm making. So with the math that I did, I'm gonna need to take out 27.5 inches from the actual running boards that I have here. So I already went ahead and marked that down where I'm gonna cut them at. And then after I get them cut, obviously you weld them back together, and then we'll go test fit them and see what they look like. But this is what we're doing. Taking out this center section here, take that whole piece out, take the sides, weld the sides together, and then it's just going to be a smaller version of what we have here. So I guess I'm going to get you guys set up and we'll go from there. So I got the pieces cut. I gotta weld them together yet. I think it's gonna work pretty good. I don't really know for sure yet. I got some 2x4 tubing over in the corner. I'm gonna try to incorporate that somehow and weld that to these so that I can weld them to the frame. But yeah, so should be half decent. I think they'll look better whenever I get them flipped over and on the Jeep. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Well, it's about around about 11 o'clock, and I finished up both sides finally. I need to, I mean, they're not finished yet. I finished welding them, they're together. I have to come out here tomorrow with a wire wheel or something and get all the rust off, because I am repurposing these, obviously. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that tomorrow, and then see if I have any paint laying around, see if I get some paint on them. But before I paint them, obviously, I need to get them welded onto the Jeep. So we'll see what tomorrow has in store for us on figuring that out. But for now, they actually didn't turn out half too bad. So, gotta get those on the Jeep and get the whole thing repainted, and she'll be mint. But yeah, definitely did not expect this thing to turn out to be this big of a project. I mean, Turbo Jeep wasn't even on the list whenever I was thinking about buying it. But anyways, I'll be back tomorrow. It'll probably be like 1, 2, and... Well, we're back today, and I just went ahead and did a little test fit kind of thing with sliders that I'm making, and unfortunately they don't fit without taking off the original mounting brackets, which I was kind of hoping I could reuse those, so I didn't want to cut them off. But I have to cut them off, so that's what I'm doing right now. Just kind of getting ready to take... I started taking it off, and then my plasma cutter started being weird, so I had to fix it. I got this one totally knocked off, and then I still got to do this one yet, but we are getting there, and yeah, stay tuned. So, I do not remember where I left off in the last part of this video, but what I can tell you is that the rock sliders we were making, they are made, obviously. I got the one on the driver's side already, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that. But while I'm doing that, I just want to let you know that I also acquired a rear bumper for the Jeep, so we're also going to be adding that to the video shortly after the rock sliders. And then after that's all said and done, the only thing that I will have left to get for this Jeep will be front fenders, a front bumper, and maybe a lift. Maybe a lift. Not sure on that one yet though, but it will need painted as well. I'm also kind of not worried about that aspect of it yet, but anyways, so like I said, got this slider on. You can stand on it. I don't really even know if I want to call them sliders or not. I think I just want to call them like running boards, because they're not very durable. I'm sure that if I hit a rock with them, they're going to bend or break. Just because the wall of the tubing that whoever made them with is not very thick, so odds are they're probably going to break. But like I said, we did get a rear bumper as well. Don't mind it laying in the dirt. That's kind of, I was taking the other bumper off yesterday, and yeah, so that other bumper is off. We're getting this side mocked up. I have the rear section welded already. It needs to be welded to the Jeep, and I need to make a front section for it now also. So that's what we're going to be doing now, is getting the measurements, getting the piece cut, gonna get the piece welded onto the tube, and then we'll get that welded to the Jeep, and then we'll move on to the rear bumper. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be crazy, just because I know that this thing's going to need all kinds of work. There's still tons of rust on it, so watch for that. Stay tuned for the rust work. It's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of it, and I know it's going to be shitty and bad. So we'll be back. Okay, so this thing just fell on my head, and that kind of made me a little bit mad, but you know what? We're here, and it'll be all right. So I gotta try to get it to where it needs to go, right? Somewhere in that kind of area. Let's see if this thing falls again. That'd be cool. Okay, so looking about, I'll call it 10 1/4. Well, it is time to get that slider welded onto the Jeep. I already went ahead and welded on the 2x4 tubing parts. So I just got to get the slider welded onto the Jeep now. So I'm going to get you guys under the Jeep, get you angled up to the Jeep, and show you what's going on under there. And we're going to get some welding going on. See you in a little bit. All right, well, the slider is on the Jeep now. It's welded on, and we are obviously gonna stand on it and make sure that she's good to go. Look at that, she's good. Bounce test approved. So the only thing that sucks about welding in this little tiny ass garage, since I don't have a ventilation fan, is the fact that it gets so smoky in here whenever you're done. So I gotta go crack the door open, and it's like snowing outside right now, but it's all right, gotta love Pennsylvania. And with that being said, we're gonna move to the back bumper now. So I just kind of mocked this bumper up and it doesn't quite fit correctly. However, I'm gonna be able to make it work. I was told it was off of a Jeep Wrangler, a 2001 or something, but it doesn't really line up like mostly at all, and I will show you guys that in a second. But I'm gonna make it work anyways. So the reason I say it doesn't line up very good like at all is because over here, I don't know if you can really see that. Let me grab a flashlight. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to show you is the bumper is this segment right here, and this segment here is obviously the Jeep welded to the frame. The problem that I'm having is that this side lines up. However, this side is the whole way back here, and that's about 1.5 inches probably the whole way. I mean, it's about 1.5 inches off somewhere in that area. So I'm just going to try my best to make it work, which, I mean, there really is no trying my best to make it work. I'm going to make it work. So I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, get you guys set up and get the welder jug over here, and we're going to start welding this bumper on. And then I'm probably gonna have to reinforce it somehow, especially if I'm gonna be putting a big ass tire on the back of it. So we're gonna figure that one out. But yeah, so stay tuned. I'm gonna get everything set up and then I'll be right back. Well, unfortunately, I didn't record any of my welding on the bumper. Sorry, I'm sure everyone wanted to see that anyways. But, so the rear bumper is on the Jeep, and I did go ahead and put the spare on it because I wanted to see how it looked. I think you guys are gonna like it. It really just complements everything else that we've done to the Jeep so far, like as far as the sliders and the new tires, and eventually I'm gonna get a lift for it, and I wanna get some tube fenders for it also. Depends on how long the Jeep sticks around, we will see. But anyways, dun, da, da, da. Now it looks like a real Jeep. And honestly, I think it looks sweet. I have no latch down. Well, I'd have a latch, but I don't have a way to really open it without using tools. But everything does open. The hatch, tailgate, whatever you want to call it, still does open correctly. But yeah, so with that being said, I guess the next step's going to be the voltage clamp for the map sensor. We're gonna have to get that off of Split Second's website. And also, I need to make an air filter. I don't know why I did air quotes, but I do need to make an air filter. And I kind of don't know how I want to do that yet. I also need to get some fenders for it. I want to get a front bumper for it. I need to get a drive shaft for it. I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. All right, well, let's see if this works. Let's keep spinning it. Okay. Yeah, so just watch. So as you can tell by the thumping noises and in the video, clearly our drive shaft is smoked. So unfortunately, I got to get a drive shaft. I should probably put a lift on this thing too, because I think that's probably why the drive shaft is bent. But yeah, so with all of that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching the videos, everybody who has subscribed to the channel, and everybody that leaves me likes and comments under every video. So thank you all for that very much. If you have any kind of suggestions or any kind of things that you'd rather me do or things that I could be doing better, please let me know. As I've said 1,000 times before, because all of this is for you guys, I want to make the most enjoyable content for everybody that watches, and I just want to make sure that you guys are having a good time watching the videos. So again, thank you all for watching. It means the world to me. Please give me a like if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one and more dirt bike content, Subaru content, and now I have the Cummins out there, so that one's going to be getting some videos here soon too. So thank you all, and see you guys on the next one.